Hello, viewers. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, and our honorable guests. I am your host, SM Irfan Tahir on World News TV UK. Today's our topic is about women in politics and our international issue, Kashmir issue. Let me introduce my distinguished and beautiful guest, Miss Parveen Khan. Uh, uh, we welcome Pavin in our show. Please provide a brief introduction. Where are you from back home, please?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How is everybody? I hope everyone is well. आज पहला रोजा का दिन भी है, so inshallah आज आपका दिन अच्छा गुजरेगा. My name is Parveen Khan. I was born in Poti Makwalan, which is in Azad Kashmir, which is near Rawalakot. I came here when I was a very young age, maybe 4 or 5 years old. I was brought up in London. I'm educated in London as well. I've done a BSc. I've worked in different sectors. I've worked in retail. I've worked in media. So I've worked for the BBC, ITV. I have done short documentaries, short films. My last job was working in education as an art teacher. So I have done many things in my life and experienced many things in my life.
Pavin, what is your purpose in entering politics?
The reason that I've entered politics is that I think it affects us all. Sometimes we say, oh, I've got nothing to do with politics. Mujhe kya, I don't care about what politics they do, or politicians corrupt hain, or matlab hamesha kuch na kuch masle hote hain siyasat mein. But the reason I've decided is because I think I want to be involved in politics more. I want to have a voice. I want to give our communities a voice in politics. So, for example, any decisions that are made, be it government level or be it local level. So I want to have how we have housing, the health issues that we have, any issues within our youth, within our young people. So for me, I think it's very essential that we are part of politics. We are part of the decision-making process and the policies that get made in the UK as well as in Kashmir.
Pavin, why did you choose Liberal Democrats when here in the UK it is said that there is a two-party system, Conservative and Labour Party?
I'm always been an independent thinker. I always think that sometimes when you look at the Labour and the Conservatives, what do they stand for now? When I was growing up, you can tell between left and right. You can tell their policies. But what are they now? They don't give us a voice. And I want to hear my voice and be heard. And I feel like in the last 10, 20 years, the Labour and the Tory party have kind of excluded me and isolated me. The reason I chose the Liberal Democrats, because they're very much they're very much central. They're very much about equality, inclusion, and I felt comfortable with them. I felt that I belong in this party because they can hear me, they understand me, they listen to me, and they work on a community basis. So they know what's happening on the community level, what's happening in the shops, what's happening with housing. With Labour and Conservative, I feel they've lost their way. And I think us as voters have lost our way with them. Who are they? What do they stand for now? Whereas for me, the Liberal Party is about equality and cohesion. And that's for me, at my stage of my life, is what I want.
Pavin, do you think politics is hard work for a mother and a housewife?
I think it's very hard work. देखो सुबह मैं उठी थी, मैंने सरगी बनाई है. Do you understand? सब कुछ मैं करती हूँ ना. So रोजा भी रखती हूँ, घर का भी संभालती हूँ, बच्चे छुट्टी पे हैं आजकल, उनको भी देखती हूँ. I think it's very hard work. लेकिन I'm passionate. I'm passionate about what I want to do, and मैं बच्चों के लिए कर रही हूँ. I'm doing things for my household, for my family, for my extended family, for my community, for my neighbors. But I think anything in politics, it's very hard. You have to give your time, you have to give dedication, and you have to be passionate about what you do.
So, what are your main priorities and goals in politics?
For my voice to be heard. Last year, my brother passed away, and I felt there was a lot of issues within the health organization that dealt with my brother. So I think I felt I didn't, nobody was listening to how my pain was, how I was feeling, and also how the system sometimes doesn't work for you. If you don't speak up for something that is wrong, then you feel you are hurt all the time and system is not working for you. So for me, I think there's lots of issues, especially in my area. There's lots of issues that we need to talk about, discuss, and find solutions for.
Do you think Asian women should participate in politics?
Yes, of course. And this, the reason, one of the reasons I did participate is for the future, is for the children of the future, is for our children to be part of a decision making process. So any decisions that happen on a government level, as I mentioned before, or on a local level, our housing, our health, how our schools are run, who runs our schools, what happens in our schools, what happens in the hospitals and in the clinics we visit. So I think Asian women, we've always been very powerful and strong. In Kashmir, in Pakistan, all over the world, women are very powerful and we are lead the house. We lead the household and we manage and we manage the budget, we manage other relationships, jo rishte hote hain, wo bhi wo sambhalte hain, everything. So I think to be involved in politics where we have a voice and where we are part of the decision-making process is essential.
That's good thing. What will you do for women after winning your election?
Winning my inshallah I will win. Sab dua kare Ramzan ka mahina. So inshallah, I will win the election inshallah. I think first thing is to listen to them. Do you know sometimes we're in politics, हम सियासत में होते हैं, लेकिन हम कभी सुनते नहीं हैं. This is the thing for me. Essential, the most important skill is to listen to somebody. So I know in my area there is domestic violence. I know in my area there's a lot of issues surrounding children's education, surrounding children's health. And remember, we're living as Asian women, as Pakistani, Kashmiri, South Asian women, we have this idea of living two cultures. This is the thing. You live a very British culture and your kids exposed to that, and then you live a very Asian culture within your home. So for
Mhm.
me, as a woman, I want to reach out to the women that are having problems, that are having troubles, and I will listen, I will hear them, and inshallah find solutions for the many problems that we do face in the UK.
But when you already mentioned you was born in Azad Kashmir, Rawalakot, been in the UK long time.
Mhm.
Your main connection is with Kashmir. What is your plan for the Kashmir issue?
The Kashmir issues are very close to my heart, very close to my heart. And one of the other reasons I've entered politics is, look, we're in UK. This is a democracy. This is where we have the right to have a vote. In Kashmir, they don't have that. They don't have the right to vote. They don't have the right to be open as I am with you and have an open discussion about the issues that are facing because they're oppressed. And for me, anybody that's oppressed, you need to speak out for them. As Muslims, as women, as mothers, as fathers, as uncles, within our own community and within our heritage, people that are from the same culture, same religion, if we cannot speak out for them and their pain, then who is going to speak out for them? So for Kashmir, it's a very, I've been passionate about Kashmir for many years, and you know, lots of things come into your life and you stop. But since 2019, just seeing all those mothers that cannot go out to get medicine for their children, for example, or cannot take their kids to school and education. So for me, where is the democracy? Where is the freedom? And it's about choice. In Kashmir, Jammu Kashmir, they do not have choice in how they want to live their lives. We have a choice here. And I do want to emphasize that local elections, we have a very low turnout. So everybody listening, please go and register and vote in your local elections. You have a choice. You have the freedom to have the vote.
If we generally discuss about the British politicians and our Kashmiri or Pakistani leadership, is it correct to say that all politicians discriminate verbally?
I think the comparison, we can't make comparisons between Pakistan and Kashmir and England so much, because remember, England is such an old country. It's an old system. It's old traditions. Pakistan is only 73 years old. Kashmir hasn't even got the independence or the right to vote. But I mean, think, you know, the comparison is that any politician, be it in Pakistan or in England, has to be there for the people, has to be standing for the people, accountable for the people, and responsible for the people that they lead. So, I mean, the comparison between Pakistan and England, there's many different contribution factors, but yeah.
So thank you so much for your precious time. But when we will take a short break. Please stay with us.
Thank you.
Back, our viewers and our distinguished and special guest, Miss Parveen Khan. Parveen, in your views, who's the responsible and behind this Kashmir conflict?
That's a very controversial issue, Irfan. It's a long history, as we all know. The British are very much responsible, very much accountable. They make rash decisions without asking the people of Kashmir in before 1947 what their destinies should be. But I think it's a combination of India and Pakistan. And I also think it's a combination of people in Kashmir as well, and the wider world. So I mean, I can't say one country, one group of people, because I think we're all responsible for what's happening in Kashmir. And anywhere where there's human rights abuses, we are all responsible because we keep quiet. But I think nowadays and today, I definitely think India and Pakistan are responsible, and they should be coming to the table. They shouldn't have discussions. They should think about the people of Kashmir. They're not thinking. It's just, for me, it's ego. India has a big ego, Pakistan has a big ego, and in the middle of all this, Kashmir is stuck. They don't think about the future of the young. They don't think about the impact of their policies or their ideas or their lack of voice. They don't think about the impact in the long run. How many more years are we going to still have rapes in Kashmir, the conflicts, the human rights abuses? How many more years are we going to have it? And ultimately, we're all responsible, Irfan. We're all responsible for being quiet for so many years.
I have noticed you have been, the participate in several meetings in House of Lords or House of Common and London and everywhere. Do you have a practical solution?
Practical solution. This is why I've got into politics. If you have a voice or you're in a position to give people the voice, then that's where my aim is, inshallah. Inshallah.
Mhm.
Practical solution is the people that are already standing and sitting in positions of power in Pakistan and in India. We need to be pushing them, and in the UK, our governments, Boris Johnson, they need to be accountable. So me, practically, what can I do? I attend meetings, I attend protests, I make people aware of the situation. And for me right now, this is the best that I can do, because, but we do need to push our politicians to do better. And this is where the politics comes in. This is where us getting involved comes in. So don't be silent when you think about Kashmir. Not everybody knows the history. That's fine.
Mhm.
Not everybody knows what's happened in the past, what's happening now. But make people aware. For me, they are, on a day-to-day basis, I can only make people aware and give some voice to the people that are suffering in Kashmir.
Pavin, why didn't you turn to Pakistani politics?
Pakistani politics, I'm a very humble and simple person. I know I'm saying that this myself, but I'm not a crafty person. And I think no, but if we're honest, when we are honest, if you go into politics, be it Pakistan, be it in India, be it even in the UK, look at what is happening in the UK now with the David Cameron, that's sort of like, corruption. So, the lobbying system, it's the
Yeah.
lobbying system in all of these countries is what makes policies. We don't have a big lobbying system in within our Muslim communities, within our
Yeah.
Muslim MPs in the UK. And this is why sometimes Kashmir issue is not heard on a higher level, because we don't have that lobbying system. But I
Mhm.
think it's just, I am part of PTI in Crawley, my local area. I do believe that people need to change. Politicians that are not good, they won't ever change, because they hold on to something so tight they don't want to let go. And this is a problem, even when something they're doing is wrong, and they still don't want to let go. But we as people should demand the change, should demand that stop being corrupt in Pakistan. Pakistan and Kashmir are beautiful countries. They've got the resources, they've got the talent, they've got the skill, but the leadership has let them down constantly.
So, what are your reason for participation in the British politics process?
I want to do it for my community. I think anything that you do, anything that you start from a level, a low level, not low level, but a level that is equal, maybe. As a counselor, my role is to listen to the community. My role is to be there for the community. My role is to, if we can fix the basic issues, domestic violence, the drugs, the health issues, the housing issues, the fly tipping, the unhealthy environments that we're in, the climate change. These are the basic foundations that I want to tackle. Once I tackle these and understand them and understand how the population is, what my community needs, then inshallah I will go maybe a higher level, inshallah.
As a neutral and be honest, are you satisfied with the performance of a UK-based organization working on the Kashmir issue?
Uh, I think what's happened is disunity, as usual. The whole thing in all about Kashmir is that people have, we know what's going on. All of us know what's going on. But even the people that were fighting with, guns and Esla, everything, even they divided. It's the disunity in the groups in the UK. We've got one issue, and the issue is for self-determination for the people of Kashmir. But when I look at the British Kashmiris, they're all divided. Mirpuri's here, Punchi's here. They all have different ideas and different ways of how Kashmir should be run, or what we can do for Kashmir. We need unity. We need one question and we need one answer from India, from Pakistan, from the United Nations on a world platform. Stop dividing. And I think that's the problem. And again, once again, for me, it's the egos. It's the egos of people and holding on to something, not understanding, not working together. You cannot solve Kashmir issue if we are divided from within the Kashmir Valley, within Azad Kashmir, within the British Kashmiris. You cannot find a solution until you are united and you have one voice.
Of course, I think unity is the key of success. How do you see the role of the British government in the Kashmir issue?
Well, right now, the British government's priority is not Kashmir. I don't think it's, because of Brexit, because of the COVID virus, there's so many things that are happening in British politics at the moment that they don't maybe want to touch the international issues and international. Although saying that, they have invited the Indian Prime Minister to London, England in June. So I guess a lot of things about money, about trade, about land. So if they see that somebody is more powerful than another country, then they would probably want to trade with them, want to discuss business with them. And I think a lot of human rights have been pushed aside. Even things that are happening in Syria, in Lebanon, in Palestine, these things, people are not waking up because I think
trade, and the all thing is good. We can't the criticize, but where is the human
no,
rights?
I don't think you can criticize, but you need to have a balance. If you have some village that is getting, women are getting raped, would you go and trade with those people that are raping the two women? You wouldn't. Everything has a balance. The trade, the business, capitalism, democracy, even Marxism, even communism, everything has a balance. England is doing trade with Russia and China and India all the time, and they have really bad human rights. So as humans, as politicians, you need to have the balance within you. You need to have yourself within you to say, okay, yeah, we can trade with these, but what is also happening with the people there?
Yeah, that's a good thing. Is the performance of the present Pakistani government with the regard to Kashmir satisfactory?
I get confused. I get one time Imran Khan is saying yes, he support Kashmir. I think he is for the development of Kashmir and for the self-determination. I don't think we can argue with that on him. But it's again, maybe he is thinking about international issues. Maybe he's thinking about the trade issues, or maybe he's not strong enough, or he hasn't got enough strong support within his party and within Pakistan to say, okay, let's get up and let's stand up for Kashmir on a proper basis. We actually don't know what actually happens in politics. What happens in the assembly, what happens in parliament, what we actually don't know what the plans are behind, what the thinking is. And this is that's why I think it's good for our people as Asians, as Muslims, to be involved in politics, to actually sit at the same table that decisions about Kashmir, about anything in your life are being made. There's not enough of us. And this is one of the steps that I really want to encourage women and young men and women get into politics. Don't just sit on the sofa and say, oh, Imran Khan is doing really bad, Boris Johnson is doing really bad, but you're not getting up to vote, or you're not getting up to demand change. So this is one thing that, Pakistan government, there's so many issues there. There's poverty. There's the resources. There is, even surrounding yourself with not good politicians, which Imran Khan has done. They're not brilliant politicians, and this is one of the problems. But then the system is that the same people come forward. The same people again. You need to have money. If I was in Pakistan and want to get into politics, where would I have the money to get into the politics? So it's always the same people.
So we can say Imran Khan hasn't any good advisors with.
Yeah,
Islam.
Imran Khan doesn't have good advisors. He doesn't have good people surrounding him. He has the same people, but then that's not his fault because it's the system. It's the system. So if there's a young person who wants to go into politics, who wants to be beside Imran, how can he get to Imran Khan? What all the people that he has to roll over before he gets to Imran Khan. And this is the problem. It's the system in Pakistan. We need to encourage young people, young women, young mothers, fathers, lawyers, doctors that are going to make decisions that are proper for the country. Pakistan is a great country. Kashmir is a great country. England is a great country. Every country is great. It's just the system. It's the system that is wrong, especially in Pakistan. So if people in Pakistan want to change, you've got to support Imran Khan, but you need to have good people with him, beside him.
Parveen, we appreciate your initiative as a the candidate of councillor, local council. Had there been any change as a result of Asians appointed in top positions within the UK government?
Well, the top positions are mainly from Indian background. I don't see maybe any Pakistani background people. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe,
Sadr Khan
yeah,
is in the
yeah,
second position.
he's a good position, but he's the mayor of London. No,
Mm,
it's yeah. I think I don't know if it makes a difference. I don't
mm,
know. We can only see the difference maybe in 5-10 years time, but I don't see them being very prominent. I don't see them
mm,
very talking about Kashmir that much. I don't
mm.
see them in the media that much. I don't see them in the newspapers
No,
like.
we have lot of the MPs and the House of
Yes.
Lord members and any
Yeah, I
other
do.
other
Yeah, I do
councillor.
know them. I do know them, and they're very good. They're very good. They can do as much as they can, but it's just like I said. You have to have good teams behind you. You have to have your priority. What is your priority? Last few years in England, it's been Brexit, and then the virus. So it's the priority. It's the moment. It's the time. The issues of the on the moment. And I do appreciate the local MPs and the councillors that are from Asian backgrounds that do a lot of hard work. Yes, I must admit they do a lot of hard work, but it's not enough. It's not
Mm.
enough.
Okay, what is your experience? What should be the role of a politician for his country and nation?
I think to better the nation, to better the nation. If you know something is wrong, try to fix it. If
Mm,
and get a good team behind you, get people behind you, be there for the people. And I think some politicians can be very lazy. So, for example, in where I live, it's always been Labour. But I don't see anything Labour doing anything beneficial. Nika, it doesn't matter what party you're from,
Yeah,
Tory, be
you know the
active. Be
yeah, Praveen,
active.
sorry to say that some people, some old people said labor and Adam butter. यानी ये छोड़ नहीं सकते लेबर की तो एडम बटर
नहीं
की.
लेकिन मेरी बात सुने इफ द लेबर कैंडिडेट आपके लिए कुछ भी नहीं कर रहा था फिर भी उसके साथ लड़ेंगे फिर भी उसके साथ मिक्स हो जाएंगे यू हैव टू चेंज आई मीन
Yeah,
इफ यू वांट समथिंग labor voters Asian people historically are labor voters
yeah.
because when a lot of people came in the 50s 60s 70s labor was speaking out for them in their workplaces in the factories where they didn't have health and safety.
That I have bad experience in our communities when we talk with the other people. They said, "Oh, माड़े अब्बू जेड़े है ना उन्हें नसीहत कीती सी लेबर की वोट देना उन्हों जन्नत ਵਿੱਚ ਚਲੇ ਗਏ ਹਨ ਅੱਲਾ ਹੀ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਹਨ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਲੇਬਰ ਨਹੀਂ छोड़ सकता
जी हाँ,
मैं
रिश्ते भी होने रिश्ते भी
उन्ना
हमारे
नहीं
ऐसे होते हैं
उन्ना नहीं रूह तड़प सी वो भी नहीं
जी
माफ
हाँ,
कर.
इस ब्लैकमेल
Yeah,
हमारे जो एल्डर्स हैं हमें ब्लैकमेल करते हैं
yeah,
उसके साथ शादी करा उसको ने
yeah,
तू रिश्ता में रखा ना सब हमारा दोस्त है तो उसने पुत्रा का ने तू शादी कर this is
yeah.
a, this is a, this is the things that need to change. They need to change. If somebody is not being effective for you, then you need to change, or otherwise ask them to change. Say to them, say to the Labour or Tory candidate, you're not doing this. I want this to be done. I want it to be done in a year's time, 2 years' time. If they don't change, then demand the change from them. This is where we have the freedom, Irfan. We have the luxury. In Kashmir, look at it. Look at the people that are struggling. They can't get to the ballot boxes. They can't get to them.
But
And we're trying.
I suggest the in the it's British youth or British Pakistani or Kashmiri should join the all parties and
Mm,
liberal Democrats, conservatives, Labours,
mm.
uh, UK, anything. You
Yeah, I
have a
think I agree. I think we should be in all parties. We should
Mhm.
be on a platform. Once again, मैं बार बार कहती हूँ कि where the decisions are being made. There is no point in being outside and then complaining later on. You have to be in the decisions. ठीक है, आपकी औलाद डॉक्टर बनती है, वकील बनता है, और जो कुछ टीचर बनती है, लेकिन you have to be in politics because we need to be there for the future generations. On any policies, we need to be there and saying yes or no. You know, you have to have a discussion about these things. But I personally think just get involved in politics. Anything that you can do about Kashmir, Pakistan, about here. If you're in good positions in the UK, then you can have good influences in Pakistan and in Kashmir. Then you can influence the policies and influence governments there. I think you can. You know, how much money do we take back to Kashmir? You know, we make houses there, we do businesses there, our airline tickets, everything. So we can, sitting from England, we can influence Pakistan and Kashmir policies. We can.
Okay, Praveen, what will be your message for the younger generation?
Once again, get into politics, be very vocal, stand out for your rights, stand up for who you are. Also, don't forget your heritage, your roots. I really big into like you knowing your roots, knowing your family background. But I think for the young, what I'm saying is get up and be part of the process of the political system, of the political ideals. It doesn't matter where ideas you come from, but I always encourage people to better themselves, to have change, to be better for themselves, but also for their community. Because when you are a politician, and I've noticed this, I've just been running for councillor, wanting to run for councillor, but I've had so many people come to me and approach me. So I feel I'm responsible. So be responsible for what you need to be responsible for in the terms of your community work, in the terms of your community. But wherever we live, we take our kids to school, we work, we whatever, but be better in yourself and be more involved and stand up and be counted. I think for me, the main thing is to don't be ignored. And if you feel you are being ignored, then be counted and get up and stand up for your rights and stand up for what is always right.
Just my last question is, as a daughter of Kashmir, what is your message to Kashmiri migrants?
Kashmiri migrants in England?
Yeah,
Oh,
local.
local. I must admit, we have done a lot. Our parents, our grandparents sacrificed a lot. When they came in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, they left their own family behind. They left their own culture, their own homes, their own childhood, their own memories. So let's appreciate and dedicate a lot of the work that we do to the elders that came here and sacrificed a lot for us. And I think it's very important that we acknowledge them and acknowledge what they've done. So for the migrants that are here, you know, you've done well in your life. There's lots of things that you've faced. And inshallah, further on, you will approach and achieve and be the best that you can. But don't forget Kashmir. Don't forget your past. Don't forget your heritage. And if you're in good places in the UK, you've got good businesses, you're well established, and please help your Kashmiri people. Don't ever forget to help your community and be there for the community. One of the things within our community that is also wrong is that we do not support each other when we should be. We do not support each other when things are going wrong in our lives. You know, we're quick to backbite and judge each other. But please, let's unite. And if we unite here and on a political basis, then we can help the less fortunate people in this world. And, you know, be it in Pakistan, be it in Kashmir, be there in Palestine. But if you are strong here and united as a community, united as a migrant community, then you can help others that are less well off than you. So, and I think this is us as human beings, as a community, this is what we should be about. It's our niyat, it's our intentions, it's what we have in our heart. If we have everything, we have a home, we have a car, we have good jobs, then use that. Use your skills, use your experience, and to give your kids the confidence to help other people.
Thank you so much, Paveen, for your precious time. Wish you all the best for your May election.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, viewers. We will appreciate your positive or valuable feedback. Please keep watching WNTV. Goodbye. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.